What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're going to talk some football, the NFL Draft. Yes, we're here with another prospect video for the 2020 NFL Draft, and today we're going to talk about edge rushers. We're going to talk about the guys that should be there in the second, maybe even the third, maybe even the fourth round. We'll talk about some of these guys. You know, the big guys, you know, the first round picks, they get all the national attention and stuff like that. They get all the videos and highlights and all type of stuff like that. So we'll talk about the later round guys who are going to be there later on. And like I said, this is not, like I told you in the last couple of videos, this is not just about the Houston Texans. Even though I speak primarily from a Texans perspective because I'm a Texans fan, this is for anybody that's looking for edge rushers in the second, in the third, possibly even the fourth round. This video is for all y'all, so y'all can get familiar with some of these guys. Some of these guys y'all might have heard of and might be already fans of. Some of y'all guys y'all might have never heard of before, and y'all want to get familiar with some of these guys. So this is for all y'all. So the first person we got on our list is Trey Lewis, outside linebacker, Alabama. He's 6'5", 262 pounds. Didn't run a 40 at the combine. You know, didn't get a chance to do his pro day because of what's going on. So he doesn't have an official 40 time, and that's actually kind of a problem with a couple guys on this list. Don't actually have official 40 times, and I'm thinking it's mostly because of what's been going on, and they pro days had to be canceled because of the outbreak. But the guy tape pops off. He's a guy who can play standing up. He's a guy who can play with his hands in dirt. Has a lot of natural ability. Physical, strong. Gets to the football a lot. A report came out that the Texans reportedly really like his tape. I like his tape. The reason why out of this list of guys, I got him rated as my number one out of these guys because he just pops off of the tape and he has first round pick written all over him. He has the potential to be a first round pick. The reason why I don't think he's going to be a first round pick is because he had some injury concerns in college. He had a lot of nagging injuries, missed a lot of time in and out the lineup. And that's a concern. And I think that can get him pushed down, especially with how deep this receiver and cornerback class is. I think that he can get pushed down to the second round. He might go at the back half of the first round. Wouldn't be shocked at all if he goes in the back half of the first round. But I think he more than likely will go in the middle of the second round. I don't even think he'll go in the top of the second round. Cause I think those injury concerns will push him back. And that might be a reason why even the Texans might steer away from him because, you know, we deal with this with Clowney early on in his career. We've been dealing with it for the past couple of years with JJ. Is that something, a road that you really want to go back under? But from a talent standpoint, he has it. He has all the natural ability. He's physical. He's strong. He attacks. I like him a lot, and outside of the whole injury concern, I think that he would be a great fit and a great addition. He's the type of the lean size that you look for in today's NFL, especially from an outside linebacker's perspective. I think he'd be a great addition to any team. Now my number two guy is Jonathan Gennard, defensive lineman, Florida, 6'3". He's 263 pounds. He ran a 4.87 at the combine. They got him listed as a defensive lineman. I think he might be better suited to play outside linebacker, but either or. He's a natural pass rusher. Like he has natural ability to be. He has all the moves, the swim moves, the power moves. Like he is a natural pass rusher. He's extremely gifted. The way he plays, the style he plays, reminds me of early on with how Whitney Mercilus looked in the first 5 games this year when he looked like he was on his way to being in conversations for Defensive Player of the Month and things like that. That's how he looks mostly all the time on tape. He looks like that almost every time you watch the tape. The problem with him is his technique. He doesn't get his shoulders down. He plays a little bit too high standing up, and it causes to get away from some guys because he's playing too high. And I think with a guy like Anthony Weaver, who used to play defensive lineman, who's a defensive line coach and will help develop reading and stuff like that, I think he could help pay dividends with him and get his technique right if you decide to go in this direction, because he's out of all these guys, he's the most natural pass rusher. He's just born to be a pass rusher. He's a natural pass rusher. I really like him a lot. He's pretty quick and he attacks and he's strong. I think that he needs to be playing more outside linebacker than playing defense lineman. But again, like I say, he plays a little bit too high up, and that's probably the reason why they have him on the line a little bit more. But from a physical standpoint, I think he'd be a great addition. Like I say, he's a natural pass rusher, something that the Texans need. We can't generate a pass rush. When JJ's not in the lineup, we have no pass rush. So we need somebody else to generate a pass rush. And he's a guy who has natural pass rushing ability. Now, My number 3 guy on the list is I think could be possibly the steal of the draft when it comes to the edge rusher, and that's I might mess up his name, so don't laugh. Jabari Zuniga, yeah, Jabari Zuniga, defensive lineman, Florida, 6'3", weighs 264 pounds, and ran a 4.640. This guy might be the guy I think could be the replacement for J.J. Watt. I don't think he's going to be. I'm not saying he's the 3-time defensive player of the year. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's going to be a 2-time sack leader. I'm 20 plus sack seasons. That's not what I'm saying. But I think he's the guy who you could possibly transition into taking over their role. This is the reason why. Now, it could be also the reason why it might be because he wears 92, but when I look at him, he just reminds me of Michael Strahan. It might be because he's wearing number 92. It could be possibly that's the reason why. Because Michael Strahan, I think, is like 6'6" or 6'5". He's 6'3", so like Michael Strahan is clearly taller than him. But he's, like I say, 6'3", he's 264 pounds, and he runs a 4.64, and you can see it. And he makes all type of plays. And the reason why I think he could be the steal of the draft is because he's a pass rusher and he's good against the run. He stops the run as well. And that's something that, from a Texan, we're going to need because, you got Derrick Henry you're going to see twice a year with the Titans. Marlon Mack you're going to see twice a year with the Colts. You're going to see Leonard Fournette twice a year with Jacksonville. So it's not just about generating pass rush. You're going to have to find a way to stop the run. In consecutive years, you've lost who I feel the best run stopper in the NFL in Clowney, and then back though you lose DJ Reader. So your run defense is going to take a hit. We've been normally good to stop the run for the past couple years. We're going to take a hit because we've lost 1 and 2 of our best run stoppers. So you're going to need to replenish that and also add a pass rushing element. And the problem with him, the reason why I think he's going to fall, because actually I got him higher. I have him rated higher than most people do. I think you probably can get him in the 3rd round. The reason why he's going to fall is because he doesn't always show up on tape. He disappears sometimes, and is on. I think it's more so a lack of effort. It's not. It's just that it's more so that, and also sometimes playing against some weaker opponents just can't get up for the game. This is where J.J. Watt comes in, because I think this is where this is one of the reasons why you don't trade J.J., because you need J.J. to be a big brother. Now, I know what some of y'all about to say, we had Clowney, he wasn't a big brother of Clowney. The difference with that is that when Clowney was drafted in 2014, J.J. hasn't even got his deal yet. He didn't get his deal till later on that summer. After he gets his deal, he goes on to be Defensive Player of the Year and get 20 sacks, and then the following year leads the league in sacks again, and gets another Defensive Player of the Year. And he's still in the middle of his career. Now, remember, when he got hurt, the first time he got hurt back in 2016, the game when Brock Osweiler gets benched for Tom Savage against Jacksonville, Clowney's mic'd up, and JJ is coaching up Clowney. Now, some of y'all can say JJ's playing towards the camera because that's something JJ does. And I get that. I understand that. And that possibly could be true. But at the very least, he was doing some type of coaching up then, and also the playoff game against the Raiders. And he missed another season. And he came back for 18, and then this past year he missed half of the regular season before he came to the playoffs. I think now JJ's at the point of his career that he's like, look, it's time for me to start being a big brother. I'm not being Defensive Player of the Year anymore. I'm not in the middle of getting a big ass contract again. I'm not in the middle of being Defensive Player of the Year. I'm going to get all the attention more than likely anyway. Now it's time for me to help somebody else. Not just take my place, but make my job easier for me, to help get some of the pressure off of me. And I think him combined also with Anthony Weaver, I think can get this guy to play the level of his talent, because, like I said, he's a pass rusher and he's able to stop the run. He's probably a better run stopper than the rest of the guys that I'm about to name on this list, and also the 2 guys I said before him. He might be the best run stopper. He's the best run stopper out of all these guys. And his pass rushing is not as the same thing as Trey Lewis and Jonathan Gennard. That's the reason why I have them 1 and 2. Their pass rush capabilities are better, and they're also more consistent. He is a little less consistent, but he's more of a completer package because he can stop the run as well, and his pass rushing skills are not that far off from them. Yes, they're lower than him, but they're not that far off. And I think with JJ and also with Anthony Weaver, I think that they can probably get him at a level that you can see him being on tape more. And I think he could potentially be the replacement to JJ to be your primary edge rusher, your primary pass rusher. And once JJ goes on to greener pastures and retiring, whatever the case may be, I think he could be your transition. I think he could be your replacement. And I think you can possibly get him late second, if not third round. I think he might be there in the third round. He's definitely going to be there throughout the whole second. I think he's going to be able to fall to you also in the third round as well. And I just think he's just supremely talented. He just doesn't give it to you all the time. Now, the list is about to take a drop off. And the next guy on my list is, number 4 guy on my list is Terrell Taylor, outside linebacker, Tennessee. He's 6'4", 267 pounds. Didn't run a 40. Another one of the guys who wasn't able to run a 40. And also the pro days, it's canceled. He's an impact guy. He does make a lot of impact plays, like a lot of strip sacks, kind of similar to Charles Omenihu. Kind of the same similar body type as well as Charles Omenihu as well, even though he's playing outside linebacker and Charles Omenihu plays on the line. The problem with him is that he completely disappears off tape. Like, if he's not making strip sacks, you don't see him on the field. Like, he's basically non-existent. He's completely boom or bust. He's boom or he's bust. He's either making a strip sack or you don't even see him nowhere on the field. And I know I kind of said the same thing about Jabari, but at least Jabari shows up in the run game. He at least shows up and stopping the run. He doesn't even do that. But he's so gifted. Like, you see the potential over him. You see he's oozing with potential, but you don't see him because he has a knack for getting strip sacks. I'm not even talking about just regular sacks. He's getting strip sacks, and that's it. Like, he's not even getting regular sacks. He's not getting tackles for loss. He's not doing anything else. He's not getting hurries or pressures or nothing. He's getting strip sacks, though. But they always come up in crucial times. So I'm like, he's completely boom or bust. I like that knack, but can I afford to spend a high pick on you? Are you just a situational pass rusher? Are you a guy who basically benefits off of somebody else's mistakes? I mean, off of somebody else's rewards? Like, somebody else getting the pressure and you happen just to come in and swat the ball at the last minute? Like, are you really, like, that's just the thing about him. So, I like that he has a lot of talent, but you just don't see it. He has a lot of potential, but you don't see him using it maximum. And I don't know if maximizing it. I don't know if both JJ and, like I said earlier, JJ and Weaver can get that out of him. I don't know, because he's not. You kind of got the same situation with Charles Omenihu, because Charles Omenihu makes a lot of impact strip sacks, and then for the most part, he kind of tails off a little bit. So you'll kind of basically be having the same player twice. I don't know if that's a field that you would go for. Now, if he falls to you late in the 4th round, you take a flyer on him, that's different. But I can't afford to spend a premium pick on him. Now, I feel the list takes another drop. Number 5 guy on my list is Josh Uche, outside linebacker, Michigan. 6'1", 245 pounds. Another guy who didn't run a 40. He might be the biggest question mark on this whole entire list. Maybe one of the biggest question marks in the draft. His tape was good, not great. It wasn't really eye-popping, but it was a decent tape. Another guy who has a lot of injury issues. He only played 1 season because of that. We only have 1 good season of tape of him because he's been hurt a lot. So I don't really know what to make of him, because it wasn't even like his tape was just great. And like, when he does play, he's amazing. His tape was okay. It was decent. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't just eye popping. And then there's not that much tape. And then, like I said earlier, injury issues. Can you really afford to take him? So I think he's going to drop because of the injuries, and also because he doesn't have a lot of tape on him. And the tape he does have is good, but not great. Like, it's decent tape, but it's not extremely great. I think he's a guy who's going to possibly be there late the 3rd, 4th round. I don't really think that he's gonna go above any of the other guys that I'm about to name. I think he might be drafted even after the two guys I'm finna name, but I just think that he's, like I said, he's a little bit more impressive. Number 6 guy on my list is Bradley Adai, defensive lineman, Utah. 6'3", 257 pounds, ran a 4.93. He has an extremely high motor, which is good. He has an extremely high motor. He doesn't take plays off. Like I just said about Uche, his tape was good, not great. This guy's tape, outside of him having a high motor, he just seemed like just a regular guy. Just a regular guy on defense. Now, having a high motor can get you drafted, can get you playing time, especially if you're playing against the right team, can put you in situations that because you never give up. And I think that might be a Bill O'Brien type of smart, tough, dependable type guy. That's the guy I'll draft because he's smart, tough, and dependable. He has a high motor. He never gives up. But from a talent standpoint, I don't see anything. I like the fact that he has a high motor, but I really don't see anything from a talent standpoint. It's not oozing like everybody else. Like the first 4 guys definitely have all types of talent. Josh, kind of, I don't know. This guy right here doesn't really have talent to me. He just has a high motor. Like I wasn't impressed from his tape. His tape did not impress me, and I think he's a guy who's he's going to get drafted primarily on his high motor. I think he might be a mid-third round pick primarily because he has a high motor and I think teams think that they could use it. And who knows? And in certain when defenses have certain type of good players and superstar players, they can use that. He can maximize having that high motor and make impact plays. Not in this defense. The Texans need talent. We need some type of talent because when JJ is not in the lineup or not on the field, we need talent. And as you've seen in the Buffalo game, when he was a situational pass rusher, JJ played well. Against Kansas City, when they tried to use him for a length of a game, you could tell he was not in shape because he was nursing an injury for the past 3 months. It didn't look well. He didn't look good at all in that Kansas City game. And your defense hurt it because you couldn't generate a pass rush. So if you're going to draft some guys with pass rushing abilities, you need talent. Not just guys with high motors because he can't benefit here. Now, if you put him on a defense that's loaded with people, you know what I'm saying? You throw him out there in San Francisco, when they got Bosa and what you call it, you take him out there in LA with the other Bosa and Ingram. Yes, he can benefit. You put him in Baltimore, yes, he can benefit. You put him in New England, yes, he can benefit. You put him with these other defensive teams, yes, he will be able to benefit from them. He won't be able to do that here in Houston because it's JJ or nothing. He's not going to be able to benefit. The number 7 guy on my list, Curtis Weaver, outside linebacker, Boise State. 600. I mean, he's 2'6", weighs 265 pounds. Another guy who didn't run a 40. I know that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, either he's college football's all-time. I don't think he's all-time sack leader. I think he's just sack leader of last year. I might be wrong. I know he's a sack leader in something. Either he's college football sack leader last year, or he's the conference. He might be their conference all-time sack leader. So I know he's gotten a bunch of sacks. He has a lot of sacks. Sack daddy. He comes off really slow. Like, he comes off the blocks really slow, and I think he's a guy who he gets a lot of sacks. He has a lot of sacks. I think some of that might be a little stab pattern, cleaning up other people's messes. Other people getting the pass rush, and he's actually finishing the job, which is cool. That's how you get a lot of sacks. I ain't knocking him, but he doesn't he doesn't come off the blocks quick. He's able to get blocked. He takes his time to get off the block. He looks a little slow and sluggish to me. Like, it might be a reason why he didn't run the 40 because he looks kind of slow and sluggish, and he's not that strong. He has a lot of missed tackles, a lot of broken tackles. I don't want to say missed, a lot of broken tackles. He's not that strong. He needs to get stronger. For a guy who led college football in sacks and is the all-time sack leader in this conference, He needs to generate, and he needs to get stronger at the point of attack. He needs to be able to finish his tackles. He's not that strong, and he needs to get quicker coming off the blocks because he comes off the blocks kind of slow, kind of like he's overweight slightly. And he kind of looks sluggish. He kind of looks like he's not in shape a lot. So I'm not impressed. I mean, at least old boy got a high motor who tape doesn't pop off. Now he has the stats. But his tape doesn't pop off because his tape actually does him. You can look at his stats and you be like, whoa, okay. I think I like this as an edge rusher. You come on the tape and you like, come again? It's kind of one of those situations that numbers do kind of lie because he has a lot of stats. But his tape don't match his stats. Because you're like, well, how did he get those stats with that type of tape? It's really not good. Like I said earlier, like it kind of drops off of me. And recap, my Trey Lewis from Alabama is my number 1. Jonathan Gennard from Florida is my number 2. My number 3 is Jabari Zuniga. Jabari Zuniga is number 3. Kind of takes a drop off after that. Number 4 is Darrell Taylor. Tennessee, number 5, and it takes a dip after that. Number 5 is Josh Uche from Michigan. Number 6 is Bradley Anai, Utah, and then number 7 is Curtis Weaver of Boise State. I'm gonna be honest with you. Outside the top 3, the rest of the guys, I'm really not impressed because their concerns to me outweighs what their quote unquote talent. I could definitely take a flyer on Taylor from Tennessee because he does have some type of flashes. He has a knack for getting the ball out, so I could take a flyer on that later in the round. And possibly maybe the same thing with Uche in the like later on in the draft. Because like I said, his tape was decent. It's just his injury concerns. Who knows? He might even be better. Like you're banking on that. Cause I say he's probably the biggest mystery. He could end up being the best guy, but just not a lot of tape on him. Like I say, Bradley Anai and Curtis Weaver, I wasn't impressed with them at all. I think that Jabari Zuniga could be the steal of the draft because if he just puts it together, you see it on tape. He just has to put it together. He needs to be in the right situation, coached the right way. I think Houston could be the right situation, being mentored, being a little brother, let JJ be a big brother to him, and also have Anthony Weaver coach him up. I think he could do well. Same thing with Jonathan Gennard. I think he could do well, especially being a natural pass rusher. You're adding that. I think if you bring him here, he might be the most natural pass rusher with the Texans. Out of all the Texans, even with JJ, even the guy who's gotten 20-some sacks, I think that if you put him in, he might be the most natural pass rusher. So I would definitely look at him. And like I say, Trey Lewis, he's a monster. He has star quality. He has first-round pick all over him. Do you trust the injury issues, though? That's the only thing with him. Like I say, guys, that's my list. Lewis, Alabama 1, Gennard out of Florida 2, Zuniga out of Florida 3, Taylor out of Tennessee 4, Uche out of Michigan 5, Anai out of Utah 6, and Weaver from Boise State 7. Y'all let me know what y'all think. If there's some more guys on the list that I missed, some other guys that y'all want to throw y'all name and have. Remember, this is talking about guys from the second on. Not talking about guys who's going to be definitely bona fide first-round picks. We're talking about guys who might be there in the second, might be there in the third, and possibly could be there in the fourth. We're talking about those type of guys. So like, share, subscribe, comment below, click that bell, get more videos. Y'all got some extra guys to talk about. Put them down there and let me know what y'all talking about. Like, share, subscribe. I'll holla.